Bed. Love.
Bed.
Bed.
Love. Beyond.
Bed, love, beyond. Bed, love, beyond.
Welcome to Bed Love Beyond, the podcast for the hopeful and the hater in us to discuss sex, love, relationships, and whatever's clever with like-minded people like you who are also in limbo with love like us. I'm Miss April.
I'm Jennifer.
Welcome to episode 133, 10 Things I Hate About Your Boo.
Number one.
Everything.
He ain't no good. Anything exciting going on with you?
Nothing exciting. Nothing I can think of.
Oh, so this morning I texted you. I was cracking up. So I don't know how flirting works anymore, and I don't engage in it, and I'm not really good at it. So I went to go get my eyes checked at the local eyeglass place on the highway, and this guy comes up to me and he was like, "Barber?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, and he's like, "Go, come with me." So he brings me to the back room where they like squirt the air in your eye and all that other stuff. And he proceeds to like start talking. Meanwhile, like I see him texting. I'm like, "Dude, come on." And he's like, "Wait, your name is Jennifer?" I was like, he's like, "I called you Barbara." I was like, "It's okay, I answered to that." And he's like, "Oh, you're from Garfield?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you lived here all your life?" I was like, "No, I used to live in Ringwood. I grew up there." He's like, "Oh, I used to live in West Milford." He's like, "You know the Van Dunks and the Milligans?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, I got chased out of there so many times." I was like, "I believe." He's like, "I was the only black kid there." I was like, "Believe that too." I was like, "Okay." And he was like, he's like, "You're about my age." I was like, "No, I'm almost 40. He's like, "No." He's like, "I thought you're like 26. I was like, "No." Anyway, and then he like proceeds to go, and he's like, he's like, "Okay, read the line." And I'm like, I'm not sure. Is that a Z or an
Sharper?
N? And I'm like, "Is that an N?" And he's like, "Almost." I'm like, "You're not supposed to like help me, dude. Like, you're not doing me any favors." And he was like, "All right, one more test, and then you Gucci." I was like,
Oh my
What?
God.
I was like, "Are you going to school for this?" Or like, he's like, "Oh, I just started working there." He's like, "I'm doing a good job, right?" He's like, "You should write a review about me, Christopher." I was like, "Okay." So then he like completes the whole test, and like the part where they like put the air in your eye, I'm not good at that. He's like, "Yo, I'm the best at this." He's like, "Don't worry." And he was like, I think he thought he was playing a video game. I don't know what it looks like on his end. He was like, "Gotcha." I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You're right. You do blink quick." I was like, "Yeah, I don't like this test." Like,
no, I don't think anybody does. It's
and I was
awful.
like, "Let me try to hold my eye open for you." So then, like, he does all the tests, and then he was like, "Oh, let me clean off the thing you put your head in." He's like, "I don't want you to break out." I was like,
Ew. Okay.
"Okay." So then he like comes out, and he's like, "Oh, I can help you pick out glasses." I was like, "I don't think that's part of your job description." I was like, "I'm good, thanks." And he's just like, "What about these? What about?" And there was like god awful Daria glasses, like these like brown tortoiseshell. I was like, "What are you trying to do to me, my dude?" And then like he was like, "You hungry? You want fruit snacks?" What? I was like, "Nah, I'm actually gonna get breakfast after this." He's like, "There's a bagel store next door if you want to go." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't really think I could bring a bagel in here." He's like looking around. He's like, "Nah, you can't." I was like, "What?" And then like he's like, "Oh, you can sit here and wait." And then he sat there and he started doing his work at like one of those little tables. And then I was like, "What?" And then he like gets on the phone and starts calling somebody. I'm like, he's like, "You need anything you get?" I was like, "I don't know if you're being friendly or you're just weird." I'm like, "I don't know what's going on."
Both. It could be both.
And then some like Indian couple walked up to me. They're like, "We know you." I was like, "Yeah, I do your medical daycare assessments. Help me." Christopher's trying to feed me fruit snacks.
Oh my God.
I was just like, this is so awkward.
What you said is millennial dating?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't get this millennial flirty. Like, thanks for the fruit snack offer, but no, I'm good. And he's like following me around the store, and he's like, "What about these? What about these? What about these?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro, I told you like what I was looking for. Like, that's not them." And he's like, "Oh, what about these?" He's like, "They look like Versace glasses." I was like, "Nah, I don't do bling." He's like, "You don't want bling? How can you not want bling?" I was like, "I'm going to be 40. That's how. Exactly.
That's funny.
I was just like, what? I didn't watch Married at First Sight. I have to do it later.
This kid came in for an intake today. Looks just like Tristan.
Really?
That's the first thing I thought when he sat down. Kid didn't have a clue. Do you have insurance? What's your date of birth? What's your mother name? Like, I'm like, this kid, I ain't got time for these. I don't have time for these kids.
Oh my
And
God.
he was like, he wasn't even like a kid. He's like 25.
How do you not know your date of birth?
And he's like looking up in the air. I was like, I don't have time for this, young man. I don't have time for this. And he's like, and he didn't have an ID because he'd just been discharged.
Your son's 3. He knows his date of birth.
Right. August 5. But if you get him on a good day, he'll say 15. But, and I'm like, he didn't have his ID. I've never seen, I am amazed at the people who don't know their mother's date of birth.
Wow.
I'm amazed that this is grown folks. Don't know their mother's birthday.
I don't know my mom's year.
But if you took a moment and did the math, you'd probably be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe I'm not good at math, but yeah. But I know it's 12.5. I don't know if it's like 12.543. I don't know.
But there's people just like, I have no clue. Because what happens is if you put in somebody as an emergency contact, they become a person in the system.
Right.
So if your name is like Maria Lopez, I need a date of birth. Like,
right.
It's 500 Maria Lopez. You know what I mean? And her mother had a name like that. Like a very,
common name.
A very common name. There's like 100 of them. And then what'll happen is, like, let's say I come as a patient and I want to put you as my emergency contact. Right. And LaVinci goes as a patient and he want to put you as an emergency contact. If they don't search you first, right, you're going to be in there twice. And if somebody else come and put you as an or you come as a patient, now you're in there 3 times.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, so you have to be searched to make sure, like, it's not just patients in the system, it's everybody. Right. Anybody, everybody, emergency contact, everybody. So I'm trying to search. I'm like, your mother's name is, like Maria Lopez. Like, come on. Like, you need to
give me something.
She was like, I don't have a clue.
Wow.
I was like, you don't know. So you don't get your mother no birthday gift? Y'all Jehovah's Witness? Y'all Jehovah's Witness, I can understand, but damn.
Oh, man.
You one of them people that'll never get your birth certificate because you don't know your mother's maiden name. You don't know where you was born. But the Tristan dude, he was like 25. He was like, do I have to have my mother sign too? I'm like, young man, when was the last time your mother signed something for you? You about to be 26 tomorrow.
Like last week.
You about to be 26 tomorrow. When is the last time your mother signed something for you? Get out of here. Anyway.
I was talking to my brother about his hoedown wedding. My brother went to a wedding. He was the best man, and they all wore camouflage and had cross bros. I was like, how are you dressed better than the groom?
Brother tried to balance things out with his dress pants.
Yeah. I was like, Jay was like, everyone else didn't get the button-down shirt. He's like, I did. I was like, yeah, because you weren't raised by wolves. He's like, I got at least a dress shirt. I was like, that's the part you're proud of. I was like, I was proud you wore dress pants. Like, everybody else is wearing, like, dungarees.
They look like they was dressed like them people raised them, the couple from Ozark.
Oh, exactly.
With the land.
Yes.
That's how that baby gonna be dressed when she finished with it.
Oh my God. Can't wait. So today we're talking about when you don't like your friend's boyfriend, girlfriend.
Husband, wife.
Husband, wife.
Or if they don't like you and you know it.
Right.
And you know about it.
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
I didn't like, well, you, for example, I didn't like Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. I didn't like, what's the name? I don't know what you call him on here. Annoying. Oh, they know him. Noble. I don't like his ass. I didn't like my sister's, well, I guess you can include siblings. Mm-hmm. My sister had an ex I didn't care for. I was cordial to him. I didn't care for him.
But has anybody ever not liked you?
If they did, I don't know.
The only time
I wasn't told.
I've run into that was when I dated Brooklyn. He had this couple who was married. They got married really young. They're not together anymore. Not important to the story, but fun facts. And like we all hung out a bunch of times, but then there would be like there was a time where they were like, "Oh, come to see us, but leave Jen at home." And I was like, what? And he was like, you can't come. And he had no couth. So you know what I mean? It wasn't like, and was going to stick up for my girlfriend or anything like that. Especially since we lived together. He was like, they don't like me. So I texted her, I think. And I was like, you have a problem with me? Like, you've been to my house. You broke bread at my house. My dog ate your fucking son's shitty diaper. Like, why
Rest in peace, Keisha.
I know. That dog's nasty. Like, why do you have a problem with me now?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I don't like the way he acts around you when he's with us. He doesn't act like that around us usually. I'm like, he doesn't act like that with just me usually.
And
like, that's a problem with him.
Right. I was gonna say, your problem is with him, not with me. Right. I don't make him act like that. He a grown ass man.
Like, do you think if he acted like that when I'd be with him? Well, probably. But like, he didn't act like that when he was with me. He was like, whatever. But when he was like around other people, even when he was around my friends, he was around you guys fucking meowing and everything else. Like, I mean,
I don't remember him. Yeah, I'm glad I don't remember that.
That was at the party. I had my birthday party with Nubia at the bar in Nutley. And I think Siobhan was there.
In Midtown?
In Midtown, yeah.
I remember him being there, and I remember it was a conversation about ages, and I said, how old are you? And he said how old he was. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were that young or something like that. Because I think you were like, oh, he's your age. And I'm like, how old are you? And I was like, oh. But I remember that, but I don't remember him being, I'm good. I don't see that shit. You work on mental health people and come to the party and you sitting up here meowing like they meowing. That don't make no sense.
And then I don't know if it was there or someplace else. No, I think we went someplace. We went to like the office in Montclair once, and he was like making like paper footballs and like flinging them at people. Just weird shit. So, but then, like, his friends didn't like me. I have a bunch of boyfriends and husbands that I don't like, which, to be nice, I won't necessarily mention on this podcast in case my friends listen.
Right.
They're all great. And it's not, and it's just kind of because like our personalities, like, one, they usually don't click, and like two, like, it's kind of like the same thing with Brooklyn, even though like Brooklyn was just weird from like the exact moment you met him. Like, when you like listen to people's stories over and over again of like what's happening, and then they're like, oh, he did this, he did that, and then you're like, I love you, and then you see them like posting shit on Facebook like, oh, we're so in love. Like, bitch, you were just MIA for 3 weeks. Now you're so in love and you're buying her gifts, like, and she's okay with it. Like, fuck you and fuck you too. Like, I don't know, it sounds like a little fucked up, but like, that's my opinion on it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's hard though. Like, I don't know.
I think it's hard too when you didn't like the boyfriend or the girlfriend and they become the husband or the wife. It's like, oh my God, this is getting more and more permanent here. Like, oh God,
there's no hope.
Now y'all about to procreate. Oh Lord, or may have already procreated.
Like, do I have to like that little fucker?
Yeah, like now you got it's a kid involved. Like, you're not going anywhere. But I know an example of somebody who, I mean, I don't know if I'm spilling the beans, but hey, it is what it is. Truth will set us all free. She was having her friend planned a birthday party for her, doesn't like the boyfriend and didn't invite him.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. That's a little fucked up.
Somebody else had to call and invite him.
Oh, did he show up?
Yeah, he came because the other person called and said, hey, this is what she's planning. She told me. I told her I was going to call and to let you know because that's only right. But she wasn't going to call him. And my opinion on that was if I dislike somebody's boyfriend that much, I just wouldn't give you nothing. Like a party, right? I would say, hey, let's go to dinner. Let's me and you go out when you have a chance, or when you free. Right. I'll take you somewhere, or we'll go like get a mani pedi, or like I would take you somewhere and do something with just us, or give you a gift, right? But I wouldn't go plan something knowing the right thing to do is to include your partner and just not include him, because and he doesn't like her either. But I have a feeling that if he would have went and planned something and not called her, then that would have been messed up. Yeah, in her mind, that would have been messed up. Right. Like, I'm her best friend. How could you not call me? Well, he's her man. How could you not call him? Like, I mean, it could go either way. Right. So, I mean, I thought it's a better way to handle stuff. Like, sometimes you have to, if y'all have a mutual interest, this person. And sometimes you have to skirt around certain things. You have to find an alternative way. Right. Because any other way, just going on like the person exists is a little nasty. So you got to find an alternative way. Like, hey, I'm
trying to think if I've ever confronted anybody that I didn't like that in that situation.
I told my sister's ex I didn't like him.
You did?
Yeah. They wasn't like exes. They were dating for a while. And he called one day and He didn't say like hello or anything. He was just like, Michelle there, set me right off. I already don't like you, but you're calling my house.
Right.
Like, this is, it was our house, but it's my house too.
Right.
And he was just like, and I guess, he probably didn't like me because when he came around, I wasn't,
Friendly.
I was cordial because I was taught to be hospitable. People come in your house, you're supposed to make them feel comfortable.
Did your mom like him?
I don't know. I think she like met him once, like quick, like,
Right.
hey, how are you? But it wasn't like where she was able to sit down and talk.
Right.
But from what I told her, obviously she believed me, so she's like, she joined the,
She joined the coalition. She's
jumped
like,
right on
she's
that.
like, I don't like him.
That bandwagon. Oh no. But and I was just like, and I just went off. I'm like, first, but he would come to the house. I was cordial. Hi, how are you? Like something to drink? Have a seat. And from then I go in my room, close the door.
Right.
I don't have to freaking talk to you. I'm not dating you. I don't need to have no conversation. I was cordial enough. Hi, how are you? Want something to drink? Whatever. She's there. She hosts for you. That's it. And I remember one time she said, I might not be home when he get there. Can you open the door? I was like, absolutely not. And she would kind of just brush it off like, oh, please. I'm like, absolutely not. He can wait in the car. He ain't coming up in here. If you're not here, I don't like him. And he probably doesn't like me because I don't,
Mm-hmm.
But I remember he called that day and I was like, you know what? That's why I can't fucking stand you.
Damn.
You're rude. You blah, blah, blah. I hope, I was basically saying, I hope y'all break up. You're completely wrong for her. And I think she knows it. And I think she's, just, I don't know what she sees in you. I was just blunt. I was about, I don't know, maybe 22 years old at the time.
God.
I didn't give a rat's ass. I would probably have a little more respect in today's
Climate.
April. I might be a little nice. I done a little reading, a little meditation. I might be a little calmer.
You are a lot nicer.
But at 21, 22, lit.
Cut you.
That damn phone call was lit. I think he just hung up on me after a minute or so, but that was that was an interesting situation. I was happy that day came.
I feel like some people don't like hearing the truth. Like, I think that it's your duty as someone's friend or sibling or whatever to say, not necessarily like, I don't like this person, but like reason with the person and say, how much of this shit are you going to take? Because I don't like the way he's treating you because I love you. Right. Like, I'm not saying this out of jealousy or out of like whatever. Like, he's not a good dude or she's not a good person. Like, do you ever, like,
so what if it's, okay, so there's behavior.
Right.
Like, then there's personality. So what do you say when it's just the person's personality that just doesn't?
Yeah, my one friend, I don't like her husband's personality. I think he's like very sarcastic with her. And I think like the things that he says, like, I think like, I don't know if they were just dating, but I remember like the three of us went to the movies and she like left her purse on the floor. And it wasn't like one of those like, oh babe, you're so stupid. Like, it was just like how stupid are you? You shouldn't leave your like purse on the floor. People can kick it or steal it. And I'm like, just pick it up for her. Shut the fuck up. Like,
and a part of that's behavior.
It is.
Because it's the way you're speaking to somebody. So it's almost like.
But like everything, like he just has like these like sarcastic comments about things. And like one of the things that's like my biggest pet peeve, like, I mean, and I do it sometimes, but like if I'm having an in-depth like conversation with you, I don't need you to be like, let's get my boyfriend's opinion. No, I'm good. Like, this is personal. Like, I like, you can talk to him about it.
Like, it's your personal business.
Like, you can, listen, I know all couples go back and like have conversations like, oh man, I was talking to so-and-so today and like they're going through this thing and I feel really bad. Like,
but this is after.
Right. Not like while we're on the phone. Like, so I don't know. He made an off-color comment about me adopting, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And it took me a long time to like be nice to him. And like, not that I'm like calling him up, like high-fiving him now, but I don't know. There's just things.
Being cordial.
Yeah, I'm just being cordial. Like, I mean, obviously,
which is a grown-up thing to do.
I wouldn't, if I had to like invite them somewhere, I'd invite them, but like, not I don't like go out of my way to do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I literally love to have them over for dinner. Like, no, I really don't want to subject myself to that sometimes.
Because sometimes it's somebody you wouldn't date. Like, like his jokes is corny. He's corny. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he dress. But then if the person may be nice to your friend.
Right.
Or whoever, sibling. but you just don't like their vibe and their,
right.
but they're not doing anything. Do you still say something? If it's just like I mean, if the person, let's say they do say, "What do you think of so and so?" Do you give them like the raw, honest truth? Like, I think he corny as hell. Like,
I don't know.
And this is them asking you what you think.
I mean, I guess if they're asking me, I feel like I've given like those, like, well, he's not my type, but if you like him and he's good to you,
right.
like that's the PC answer. Like, if you like him and he's good to you, like, see where it goes,
Because it's that might be the pivotal moment that your friend is on the line, and maybe she needed that little rawness,
right?
And then if you don't give it, it's like, now they married. Maybe if I'd have been a little blunt, not necessarily.
But some people are like really sensitive. You know what I mean? Like,
those people shouldn't ask people what they think,
right? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, me and Nubia have a mutual friend. I'm pretty sure that she hasn't reached out to Nubia because she's tired of hearing her bluntness, and Nubia is not going to give her anything but that anymore. So.
But sometimes people, it's a difference between asking people their opinion
and just giving it.
And people
right.
Yeah,
I think you'd be just
some
giving
people
it.
telling you what you need to do.
Right.
And nobody don't want to hear that.
No, it's true too.
Yeah, especially not like over 18, you don't want to hear nobody telling you what you need to do, let alone 30 and up.
I went out with my neighbor the other day, and she was like giving me her like TMI information about, she's like dating her ex now that the other guy left, and she's like, oh, but he's not really working, and I'm just like, yo. Like, she started comparing him to like another guy. She's like, he's kind of better looking, and he's like more established. I'm like, if you're just having fun with this guy, have fun with him. I was like, but I don't know where you are in life. Like, some people are like 35, 36 and just like, yo, I just want to have fun, have sex, and live this Sex in the City life. I don't care about settling down or kids or any of that. But if you definitely want something, and part of your reason for not being upset at the ex-boyfriend was that like he didn't want to grow, now you're gonna go with someone who doesn't even have roots in the ground,
right?
Like, you gotta really think about how much
the pathology going on here.
Right. It's just like, but sometimes you're like, I don't know what people want to hear. Like, do you want to just like want me to high five you because you had sex? Like, I don't know.
Are you just venting? That's what I have to keep myself conscious of. Is this? I ask myself, is this person venting? Do they actually have a problem that they want me to comment on? Are they just venting and really don't want an opinion?
Right.
Or like, are they genuinely just a confused person that no matter if it's going well or not well, they're going to find all these things wrong to list and go on and on about, no matter what anybody says.
So if I were to come to you and say, I don't like John, like, would you hear me out, or would you just be like, shut the fuck up? Like, what are you kidding?
Yeah. I think at the 5-year mark.
Yeah, I mean, if I were coming,
but I would still say, why? What happened?
Right.
Like, at the 5-year mark, I would be like, I would still say, like, why? Did something happen? But like, I mean, in the beginning, I would definitely listen, because sometimes there is, especially at this age, it's like, age matters so much sometimes.
They can be dickmatized. You don't know.
Right. But it's like, when you like in your 20s, like, it doesn't matter what anybody says. If you like the person, it don't matter what your mama say, daddy say, brother, sister, best friend, it doesn't matter. Right. You're going to be with the person until you, and even people that's older, they go through that too, but especially in your 20s. But as you get older, I feel like you might be more open to, wait a minute, what I don't know. Right. Like, what are you seeing? What did I miss? Like, you might be a little more paranoid about being in a serious relationship. I remember when get older.
I was dating Brooklyn. My friend Marcia called me, and she was like, Jen? I was like, yeah, what's up? She's like, where are you right now? I was like, at the mall. She's like, where's that Shenafay character? I was like, he's at the mall with me. She's like, oh, good. She's like, because I just saw him bopping around Macy's, and I was like, what is he doing here without Jen? I was like, she's like, I just needed to let you know. She's like, I don't trust that boy. I was like, okay, thanks. I was like, no, I let him go frolic. I'm like, thank you for calling me, though. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't know. I mean, I've had conversations with my friends, like, when they sit there and tell me, like, oh, he did this, he did this, he did this. And I'm like, yo, this is, like, the 4th time we're having this conversation. Like,
right.
How much is enough for you? Because I'm fucking tired here.
Right.
To be honest with you, being honest
and
here.
that's the thing too. That's a different story when you're coming to your friends constantly telling them all the things that's wrong with this person.
Right.
All the things that are kind of red flags for why you shouldn't like him either, let alone why they don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you shouldn't like him for these reasons that you find horrible, but you're still with him.
I think when I was dating the boy who spilled water on me, he I think there was like a couple people who were like, I really don't want to talk to you while you're dating him, because like I'm just tired of like listening to the bullshit and like you not doing anything about it, because that's not who you are. And like I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like a combination of like, it was like I had gone into the hospital, and then that was like the first time I went to the hospital, and then I kind of just like gave up hope on trying on anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna sit this out and see what happens. And he had his own bag of issues, but I just kind of like, oh, can't find him. He was sleeping in a car in Dunkin' Donuts. Like, what? who does that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But like people have said like, yo, I really don't want to deal with you while you're dealing with him, because he's
can't
toxic.
stand to look at it and watch it unfold. Yeah, sometimes you just can't stand to like that's. I guess that's sort of like too when people say I'm not coming to the wedding.
Right.
Like I kind of like. I used to think Usher's mother was kind of messed up for not going to his wedding, telling him she wasn't going to go to his wedding when he married the first lady that he had the kids with.
Oh, clearly they didn't stay together. Never mind.
Yeah, and the mother's like, I don't like her. She's not right for you. If you have a wedding, I'm not going. And she was dead set on not going. And I think somehow he made that wedding not happen because his mother wasn't going to be there. And I knew.
Oh, he didn't have a wedding?
He said that she was going all out and planning like $1 million wedding.
Oh, Jesus.
And it got to the point where he was like, all right, listen. And they just ended up getting married like in a lawyer's office or something like that. But he was like, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more blown out. And he didn't want that.
So this article that I'll post to the website, it says, if your friends let you know they don't like your partner, it's important to hear them out. If they make some valid points, you should reflect on the relationship. If you are happy in your relationship, try to find common ground between your friends and your partner. If they still can't get along, hang out with them separately and establish boundaries. Above all, make sure everyone in the situation is acting respectfully. I think that's decent enough advice.
What's common ground, though?
Like, let's say you don't like my boyfriend, but you guys both like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, oh, like, April, come on over. Like, me and Levinci are going to watch this horror movie. Bring your boyfriend. And you're like, I guess. I like horror movies. I'll come for that. Like, I don't like bars. So if you're inviting me to, like, a bar to come see your boyfriend, we're not going to get along. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, oh, I don't know how somebody can, like, get me to a show or something. Oh, we're going to go to this reggae cover band. Do you want to go? I'm like, okay. And then maybe I'd find something redeeming about that person there. Probably not, but like,
yeah, that's what I'm like.
That's what common ground means.
Right. I'm trying to figure out at what point is it gonna make you not make you like them, but I guess
because I guess it's like if you're prejudging the situation, you know what I mean, and then maybe you'd find something redeeming about that person if you're talking about the same thing. Maybe not. I don't know.
Or and they're like, oh, we both like this. Maybe he's not so bad. Sort of thing.
Or something of that nature. Or like, let's say you're like, oh, I always want to try a cooking class. Let's all do a cooking class together. And then you're like, all right, you know what? Maybe now that I've like opened up to the possibility and it's like a smaller group and I don't see him like acting like a dick with his friends. Because that's sometimes like what it is when you do like big group things. Like people tend to act like their true self, I guess, or how they are with their friends. And sometimes it's like, I don't know. Did you ever not like any of your boyfriend's friends?
Yeah. There's one I don't care for, and he knows. I told him.
You did?
Yeah, I told him. I was like, I don't care.
Maybe old April's back. Who knows?
But like when I see him, I'm like I don't, I'm like cool with him. Hey, how are you? But I don't care for him. I told him I don't care for him. And
what did he say?
And he was sort of like, well, at first he was like,
Wait, you told your boyfriend you don't care for him, or you told the friend?
No, I told my boyfriend. I don't
okay.
care for him. Yeah, yeah.
I thought you told the friend. I
didn't tell him. No, I told my boyfriend I don't care for him, and he's like, why? Like he's one of those people like he's cooled out with that, but he would immediately get a defensive.
Right.
And no, he's a nice guy. Like and I had to explain to him he's nice to you.
Right.
Like his personality is up to par with you.
Right, for you.
I find him awful. Like I don't want to be around him. But I also think he like it was like a couple coworkers that he's like cool with that they all go out for happy hour sometime, and it was one young lady, and I think he thought like I like that I thought she liked him, which that wasn't. It was kind of the case, but that wasn't why I didn't like her. It was her personality.
Right.
Because he has another female coworker that she's one of the or used to be one of the happy hour crew. I like her a lot.
Right.
So I'm like, it doesn't have anything to do with it being a female. I mean, I like you, so I know there's gonna be other girls that like you. I mean,
right.
Well, I mean that's
Not
ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, if I like you, I'm not the only woman on the planet that likes your personality. It's got to be some other woman out there. But that wasn't really the problem, and I think he thought that was the problem. And then when men think is you don't like the woman because maybe she likes him, then he starts thinking that you think he's gonna do something,
right?
And then it all spirals out all from the
you
main problem,
me.
Right?
You're like, no, I just think she's an evil bitch, like,
right? Yeah, like, and it's not even about the fact that she likes it. I think if she was gonna act on it, she would have. Right. So it's not that the reason why I'm like I don't like her personality, and then I think. He saw it later. And I'm just like, oh, the lights came on. Welcome back.
Hey.
Because he kind of like said, it was something I said about her. And he was like, nah, it's not like that. She's not like that. And I'm like, and even his sister knew.
Damn.
Even she was like, no, she is like that. And even my mom saw it.
Your mom?
My mom was like, I don't like her.
His mom or your mom?
My mom.
Oh, damn.
She was like, I don't like her. And I was like, and I was like, you peeped that? She was like, yeah, I don't miss nothing. But and his sister, he was the only one who was like, nah, she cool. I'm like, okay. Until like she did some foul shit, and then he was like, oh, that's messed up. I'm like, she's the same person
I told you was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, she's the same person. You just like it took something, that drastic for you to. I'm like, come on.
I think my ex, I liked all of his friends except for the one girl who I've spoken about in this show, and that's because she was like very flirty with him. And coincidentally, like, I can deal with her outside of my relationship with him. Because I've had to, like, deal with her, like, I don't want to say had to, but I've dealt with her, like, in other settings. And she's fine. She's still not, like, my cup of tea. But, like, she's fine, like, to be around in a group. But, like, I wouldn't hang out with her by myself.
Right.
I just didn't like how she was with my boyfriend at the time. But that was the only person. And, like, now, like, I don't know. My boyfriend's, like, best friend. Like, I only met him, like, in short spurts. And the short spurts that I met him in the first time, like, was the first time he met me. And I just feel like he was, like, very sarcastic and nasty to me. Like, you can't tell my boy what to do. Like, but you don't even know me. Like, you don't know what he's telling me behind closed doors. Like, he's like, you can't make him move out of this house. I was like, well, he doesn't have to move out of this house. I was like, he can do whatever he wants, but eventually I won't be here. And, like, that's...
There's consequences to
right,
actions.
Like,
that's the consequence.
What? Mind your business. And then, like, the second time I met him, I was kind of, like, frustrated with my boyfriend because he was like, oh, I think it was, like, Christmas or something. Or Thanksgiving. He was like, oh, can I go hang out with him? He's in town. I was like, go, have fun. And then it got late, and he was like, can I just stay here? I'll just be home in the morning. And I was like, all right, well, don't forget, we're going to the movies in the morning. And then it turned into, oh, can he come with us? And I was like, okay. And then, like, I just got frustrated because, like, we had plans to go to the movies and then, like, do some Black Friday shopping. Like, right after. And it's like, now we toting around your friend. And he has an opinion about everything. Opinion about the movie. Opinion about Louis C.K. And I'm just like, dude. I just wanted, like, a nice morning.
Right.
It's bad enough I was dealing with my crazy-ass brother. Like, I just wanted, like, it wasn't really personal. So, like, I want to give him another chance. But, like, I don't think we're gonna get along.
Deep down inside,
right?
He's showing you who he is, and
my boyfriend's like, well, you guys both kind of have like the same personality. Like, you just say what you want to say when you want to say it. I was like, well, then we're either gonna love each other or kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever.
There was actually another childhood friend of his. I mean, they're not close, but they've known each other for years. And we were at one of their mutual friends' house, and she goes, and the girls whose house it was, she comes up to me and she's touching my belly. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited." I was pregnant at the time. And then I don't know, somehow it came up that I had just recently found out, and that when I was like 4 months. And she goes, "How could you be walking around 4 months pregnant and not know?" And I know my face changed because I don't know if all of y'all out there, any black women, you done said some shit when they get quiet and turn and look at you. You done said some shit. and it was just a way. And I paused and looked at her like, you don't even know me.
Damn.
Like it's a difference when a friend of yours say it or somebody you close. Like if you would have said, "April, how the hell are you walking around?" It would have been no thought to it. I'd have been like, "I don't know, Jen. I honestly don't know how this happened." Like I would have just went right on. But when somebody you don't know come at you like that, I was like, "What?"
I feel like it was like Easter weekend, and you called me, and you're like, "So, do you want another god kid?" What?
Yeah, it was April Fool's.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But I made sure to not say anything until April 2nd, so people wouldn't think I was joking. But and then
I was like, I just saw you like a week ago at my housewarming party. What are you talking about? Like what?
Eating all the food off the table and sleep. I just realized that. I'm like, I think I ate all the sausage bread at that party. And so I look, and I guess the girl whose party it was saw my face because it's her best friend.
Oh.
And she said, actually, I was too.
Oh.
And she kind of
nice save, sis.
Yeah, she kind of like broke it up, and she was like, I have irregular periods too, and I didn't pay it no mind either. She was like, I was the same way. And I was like, and I kind of just said, I didn't say a thing to her for the rest of the day. I'm like, I'm
like ever
bad
again.
Impression. Yeah, I'm done. Like I don't. And then, but then she said something to me. She's like, "Oh, why you sitting? You don't want to come? We in here." I was like, "No, came to watch the fight and sit here and watch the fight." Like, you think I'm not gonna sit here because I'm a girl? I came to watch the fight.
Right.
But cause she was like in the room doing something. I was like, going in there. So you can interrogate me again? Get out of here. But I just,
Jessica, sit down.
Already for some reason, I don't know if it's nature. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a natural thing. Sometimes with women, it's we don't make friends like guys.
No, we don't.
So
I really wanted to hate you when you first started working.
I remember that.
I was like, they fired Sabrina and they just replaced her with some other black girl. I was like, this is fucked up. I'm very angry. I was like, who is she?
I was like, look at her sitting there chewing that straw. What's wrong with her? I'm like,
and then they were like, you can't go out with
mean to the supervisor like that. And then 3 weeks later, I was like, oh yeah, I see what she mean to her.
They're like, crazy. You can't go out with April anymore. You guys are together too much. I'm like, why? No.
I'm like, look at her chewing on that straw like that. Who does that? What's wrong with her? It's so funny how that happens. But
but who, like, you do meet people and like if you're gonna like them or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's not too many people who like you meet and you're like, oh, we might get along. Like you usually know like whether or not you get along. And a lot of times women don't go out of their way. Like some women don't go out of their way to be friends with people.
I don't think it's a natural thing. I think we're taught. To be in constant competition with women.
Do you think that's an alpha woman thing?
I don't know.
Because I see some girls that go places and they're like, oh, I have new friends. And I'm like, how does that happen? I'm like, why? Like, don't you have enough?
How y'all become friends that fast? Like, but I don't know. But I think it's some, like we just got to guard up.
Right.
Like, and that woman got to come with something extraordinary. And you're like, all right, she cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you can sit with us.
Like you be sitting there like, and then she'll come with like some hateration, like none of these dudes in here look good. You're like, yeah, I like you. They sure don't. Come. But it's got to be some kind of mutual something has to happen for you to be like, oh, okay, she's not stuck up, or oh, okay, she doesn't think she's better or prettier or taller or sexier than us. Oh, okay, we're all on the same level. Like, so I think sometimes like if you have a male friend and he brings around somebody new he's dating, it's almost like all right, let's see what this chick talking about now.
Right.
Until you see some kind of something, then you're like, oh, okay, but maybe if you don't see it, then maybe it's just going to be, everybody just going to be looking.
Like when I first met my ex-boyfriend's brother's girlfriend, like from looking at her, she doesn't look like someone I'd even like want to associate with. Like I'd be like,
wait, ex-boyfriend's
boyfriend's brother's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Like she look like putting it all together.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look like someone who I'd want to hang out with or whatever. But like once I like sat at a dinner table with her, and I realized like, yo, she's in the same shit show that I am, trying to figure out his brother. I'm trying to figure out this brother,
right?
And like she was like really down to earth and wasn't like what her facade put out necessarily.
Right.
I thought she was gonna be like, because I was told like, oh, she's a makeup artist and this and that, and I was like, I don't even wear lip gloss, man. Like I don't got time for this. And they're like, no, she's an FX makeup artist. I was like, really? Okay. But then I got to know her and she was like really awesome. But like I don't really go and like, I don't know. Like my friend got married and she's like, oh, I'm friends with this girl, that girl, like all her husband's friends, girlfriends, and wives. And I'm like, yeah, I don't see that happening. And I mean,
I think a big part of it is, though, I think society has told us that women, we're supposed to be in constant competition. We're not supposed to like each other.
Right.
You're not supposed to like the ex-wife or the ex. I think it's a good thing Swiss Beats' ex-wife writing the book about how her and Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys all came together and raised the kids and did the whole thing, go on vacation, because it's just an example. Like
Will Smith does that too, right? Mm-hmm. They're all friends.
And allegedly, I mean, I guess, I don't know, they call Alicia Keys the side chick. You never know what Swiss told her.
Right.
You don't know if he told her we're separated, we're getting divorced.
Right.
Maybe, and I think Will Smith told Jada they were he was separated from Sheree. She apologized for dating him while they were married. So I don't know if they were actually living together. I think she said one other time they were separate. He told her they were separated.
Damn.
But whatever the case is, women get a bad rap for that, and it's like, you can't wreck somebody's home.
Right.
I don't like home wrecker. I think that's just something used to blame women for problems.
I think you said that last week too.
You can't wreck somebody's home. Your home was already wrecked. Like, and that doesn't mean you should be dating anybody's husband or wife. But it's just that your relationship is already over. It's already in disrepair or on its way there. Somebody can't wreck something solid and strong. You can't just come in and tear it apart because the person looks good,
right?
So, but I think it's important for people. You don't have to hate the ex or the child's mother or whatever the case is. I think society though has us brainwashed to think, oh, you're the ex, I don't like you. Or, you're the ex, I don't even want to hear your name spoken in here. Or it's always like the person, the ex-girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend is seen as somebody that's lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce all the time. And maybe the person might be like that, but let the person show themselves. Like, people thought I was crazy because, my boyfriend was still friends with his ex when we met, and she had one of those moments where she was like, come by yourself.
Yeah.
And he was like, hell no. Like, you inviting the both of us, or I'm not coming at all. Now, if she don't want to come, then that's fine, but you can't not invite her. But it was one of those situations, and that situation and a little other things is what started breaking it apart, because I'm like, oh, okay, he friends with you, I'm okay. But then when you start throwing little stuff in there, I'm like, all right, now you causing this to be something it don't need to be, But I was totally fine with it. Women will scream all of this, like, a lot of feminist stuff, a lot of Me Too stuff, a lot of backing up women and speaking up for women and women speaking up for themselves, but you would dislike the ex without even knowing her. It's got to be all around.
Right.
Like, if women going to stand strong and support other women and, have some feminist goals going on, then that's got to be in your regular life too. Like, don't be at the water cooler gossiping about the other chick in the office. with the mean girls.
Right.
Like, don't be at the club like giving some other chick the stank face because she wore stilettos and you got on sneakers. Like, or she like, if you're gonna have feminist goals, have them all around, or it's a little hypocritical. Like, you stand with Dr. Ford, but if Dr. Ford was in here, you wouldn't talk to her.
Right.
Wouldn't say hello to her. Then you don't stand with Dr. Ford. And like these things got to be more than hashtags, because that's how men feed off that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Men feed off women not liking each other. You don't like the ex or the child mother, or not all men. Some men are mature enough to be like, listen, we all adults. Like, stop. I don't want her. She don't want me. Chill out. It's not that serious. But I feel like especially sexist men, I feel like they feed off of, women constantly bickering and being at odds with each other. And it doesn't need to be. And I mean, men don't find out they had the same girl and be like, all right, so we playing basketball next week?
Right.
And women be 10 years later, women still like, I hate that bitch. Like, we were dating the same guy in high school. Like, bitch, you 45. Like,
right.
Why are you still, just say hi to her? What the hell going on?
Or don't say nothing.
Right. You don't have to say anything.
Sometimes I have to remind people, like, who, I mean, I can't say I've never done it. I try not to do it, because whether you're religious or what you believe in, like, I really believe in, like, karma to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, you know what? I don't like you, but I'm not going to say anything bad about you.
Right.
I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm not going to, like, go out of my way to, like, talk shit about you necessarily. I'm just going to keep it moving, keep my thoughts to myself, wish you the best, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, that's really just how it has to be.
And my mother's told me since day one, since I entered school, everybody's not going to like you. You're not going to like everybody. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Everybody's not going to like you. You have manners. You say hi, how you doing, and you keep it moving.
Right.
And that's where it's got to be too. Like, because people got to understand, if you have a significant other, don't like your friend, or friend don't like, you can't force anybody to like somebody.
I've been having, like, a really difficult time with my boyfriend's other best friend, who's a female. Like, she hasn't spoken to me pretty much at all, other than, like, snarky comments on Facebook, since, like, May, because I was supposed to go there and, like, bring stuff to her, but then they had communication issues and it didn't happen. And, like, I really feel like she's mad at me, and I want to, like, confront her about it, and, like, also kind of explain to her, like, yo, not for nothing, but I didn't want to come there and hold your baby and help you out when I just found out, like, I can't have kids and I'm not in the mind frame to do that. I wasn't mentally strong enough that day to do it. Like, my bad. But she hasn't spoken to me, and, like, I get that not everyone has to like me, but because she's so important to him, like, I guess it holds, like, weight to me. And, like, sometimes I'm just like, oh, like, has she said anything? He's like, no, she hasn't said anything. I'm just like, I don't like people being mad at me, I guess. Especially when I feel like you're the one who's holding all the anger. Like, I don't even know what I did. So that's something I have to work on. Like, I like everything to be calm and peaceful. Just like, everyone be my friend, or don't be my friend. Just don't be mad at me. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's my own bag that I have to work on. But, like, I'm pretty sure she's mad at me. And I wanted to, like, bring it up, but I feel like now it's been, like, 6 months, and I just sound like a psycho bringing it up.
Well, I mean, not really. I think it's the way you do it. I think you could say,
Because I have reached out to her a couple times just to be like, hey, how are you? How's your summer going? And, like, crickets.
Yeah, it's like the little elephant in the room.
Right,
thing
like, I tried to
on.
start a conversation.
Yeah.
At least I would have appreciated it if, like, she would have been like, yo, I'm really pissed that you didn't come that day. I really needed somebody to come.
And I think it's okay to be, like, just blunt and to the point and say, listen, I don't know if I did something to offend you or something happened that I don't know. But if it did, you can go ahead. I mean, please be honest and tell me what happened. Because, I mean, I'm his girlfriend, you his friend. You're not going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. So we might as well live in peace. I mean, and if you don't get in a response, at least you could say, well, I tried. I did the adult thing.
Right.
And but I think too, part of that situation comes with, which I try to work on every single day, is not assuming anything about anybody. Right. Because you don't know the whole story. Right. You never know the whole story. And I realized that with sometimes like just different pages, and sometimes, you see young kids coming in, you like, what could be wrong with what's going on with this kid? That this kid is on probation and smoking weed and 13 years old.
Right.
And the first thing you're going to say, kids bad as hell. This generation don't listen to their parents, blah, blah, blah. But when you really think about it, something's going on with this kid. It's always something else. Always something else. And I noticed it too. I saw a 5-year-old girl that wouldn't talk.
Wow.
And it's like, some kids don't stop talking, but they smoke weed. Some kids don't stop talking, but they get angry and they yell or they act out. Like she just decided not to stop talking. But there's some kids, they may not stop talking, but they may start yelling and they may start failing out of school. Like there's something's happening to these kids. So it's almost like, instead of saying I'm mad at Jen because she didn't come, another way to look at that would be something must have happened, or Jen might have been going through something that day why she didn't come.
I think she assumes I didn't come because I don't know why. I don't actually know why. Because I told her, I was like, well, I was coming to bring you stuff, and now the stuff that I was supposed to bring isn't available for me to bring. I can just come another weekend. And she's like, well, you're not coming now? She's like, I think she had to mow the lawn or something. And I was just like, I have to drive an hour and a half to get there. It's not close.
Yeah.
And I'm not really I just wasn't up for it. So.
But it's like, before anybody assumes, and I think a lot of times people dislike things about people or think certain things about people because they're assuming something about them that they really don't know for sure. Right. And sometimes you hear, and a lot of people don't want to share their story. They don't tell their story. So people do assume things about you by what you present because you're not being vulnerable or you're not being a little more open about who you are. And that can cause people to assume certain things. But, a lot of times people don't search for answers. I realize in life, a lot of things you learn, you got to go out there and find it and search for it. Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Pick that up.
She's really pushing this book. You need to get her on, April. I'm just saying. Find her contact, email her.
No, she's big now. She's all on Oprah and everything. New York Times bestseller, 1 million copies sold.
She can come.
She might still talk to us.
She might still talk to us.
Brene, you could do this while you helping your daughter Ellen with her homework. Come on.
Damn, April knows everything about her.
She puts the kids in the book. Little examples of her things she's went through with her kids. She puts in the book. But it's like, sometimes you gotta go out there and find answers.
Right.
Especially as you're getting older. There's a lot of things we went through our 20s and we grew up, went through our teens, went through our 20s, we're in our 30s, 40s, wherever you are, and you don't know a lot of answers to a lot of things. The answers are not going to necessarily fall out the sky.
Right.
The answers are not necessarily going to come from mom or grandma. Sometimes you have to go out there and search for answers. And, I've found that you cannot assume anything about anybody. You cannot assume that you know somebody's whole story and or why somebody is the way they are. And of course, naturally, we react by what we see. And that's why sometimes when you meet somebody, that's why our parents was right when they said to us to make a good first impression on people, because people are going to react to what they see and they're going to judge you or assume but what you see. Now, granted, people, of course, it's a good idea to give people a second chance.
Yeah, I mean, I usually walk into places with a mean mug, so I have to work on that.
Right. Of course, you give people a second chance.
Bitch.
Like we said, Jen's chewing on the straw. I'm the new hire after her friend got fired. So we're both, we're both just sitting there like,
this bitch.
Right. And then we go out and we, it's history from there. So you gotta,
Well, I think the moral of all these stories are to give these people a chance. And I guess if not.
And once you've given your chance and you have feel like you've done something, like I've done something to try to understand this person, I still don't like them, it's okay. Other lesson, you don't have to like everybody. Right. And everybody doesn't have to like you. But, I mean, you should be respectful to each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hear people out, hear what they have to say, try to figure out a way to deal with it. You know, I mean, listen, if your friend's boyfriend is beating her ass, and that's why you don't like him,
That's obvious.
yeah,
Yeah.
like really, all you could do is like be supportive to your friend.
Like some kind of abuse is like that's like an automatic understanding of why you don't like this verbally or physically, emotionally abusing
any
somebody.
of it, yeah.
Of course. I just think
Create a safety plan. I don't know.
right, like sometimes if you're in the middle of the situation, like if you're the boyfriend or girlfriend or husband, you're in the middle of like friends or siblings or your kids or somebody doesn't like somebody, ex doesn't like the new person or whatever the case is. Like sometimes as the person in the middle, you have to be the facilitator to say, okay, hey guys, like, you know, this is what's going on, what's, you know, let's all sit down. Sometimes you have to, you know, you can't just, I don't know, I guess, like sometimes when you're the one in the middle of it, unfortunately, you brought these two people together. These two people are here because of you. So sometimes you got to be the one to step up as the person in the middle and say, like you said, what the article said, where could we find common ground here? Or what's the problem?
I have to say, my friend did sit down with me and the boy who spilled water on me at one point. We all went out to eat together. And she was like, let's make a contract. I think I still have it somewhere. And she was like, what do you want from him that he's not giving you? And what do you want from her that she's not giving you? And like, let's figure out what you need. Because he's like, I don't get to play my video games, or I don't get to do this. And I'm like, I just want quality time. Like, that's my love language. That's what I want. Just spend some time with me, and not at like 4 o'clock in the morning when you're up texting females. Like whatever was happening allegedly. His phone was just going off at 4:30 in the morning. You know, she tried, you know, and then she was like, all right, you guys are fucking damaged and fucking horrible people together. I need you to back away. But she tried, and I appreciate that. So I think it's important to continue to spend time with your friends aside from their boyfriend. Like, go out and do things. If, you know, you don't like their boyfriend, maybe you don't hang out with that person. Because I do think you kind of start to build like a resentment for your friend a little bit. Right. So I would try to do girl things or do guy things if you don't like the girlfriend. Separate church from state. You know, like your friend is not necessarily who this guy is unless she starts like acting like him. Then you're like...
And I think if it's a situation where you're the person and the facilitator of this whole tryst, if you see like somebody on either end is out of line, you have to be the one to check them.
Right.
Like, sometimes a friend might be on, you know, like let's say it's a man and he has a female friend and he gets a girlfriend and the female friend is very nonchalant or very brush offy with her. Like, I think he has to be the one to sit down and say, this is not some girl I'm just dating. This is not some random girl off the street. This is my girlfriend. Right. Like, you can't brush her off. Like, you can't be, you know, have little snide or sarcastic remarks from her. This is not like just some chick from around the way. This is my girlfriend now. This is serious. Right. So, you know, you have to be nice. You have to be respectful. You have to respect my relationship. Like, you know.
I wanted to try to stop saying right. And I'm having a hard time doing that too. I was listening to the podcast the other day. I was like, God damn it. Find another word, Jennifer.
But yeah, I think, you know, as a, you know, facilitator, you have to step up.
Do it.
Get everybody in, you know, check people.
So, I don't know what's happening for next week, but on October 16th, we may or may not be speaking with Marie Claire Theravat. She is she wrote the book, The Honeymoon Playbook, and she is going to talk to us about how to take our long-term relationships and marriages and make them from simmering to hot. Okay. About foreplay and intimacy and hot conversation starters, how to make it stress-free, great part of foreplay. Let's bring back the kiss. Couples stop kissing. That's true. Nobody makes out anymore.
Like, Al, give her pants down. Hold on. Pull her pants down over that leg. Wait a minute. Ow, my foot stuck. Like, never mind. Like, shh, before you wake him up. Oh, sorry. That's my house. Sorry.
That's okay. I like tried to like be like cute yesterday, and I was like, we should like get freaky when we get home. And then my boyfriend was talking too much in the movie theater. I was like, sex is off. You're pissing me the fuck off. Like my female boner has completely gone down. He's like, really? I was like, yes. Like I'm really aggravated. Like
You're
I just
really annoying.
just shut the fuck up. I'm like, is this what I have to deal with the rest of my life if I want to be with you? Like, I know it's so minor, but I was just like, I really just like to watch the movie. I don't like to be asked questions. Like, sometimes, the worst is that when we watch movies at home, he'll be like, oh, rewind that. I want to Shazam this song. What the fuck? Stop.
That's funny.
It's not, April. I'm going to invite you guys over for movie night so you can experience it.
Like, Da Vinci,
Maybe I'll listen to you. Because he's sure as hell. I'll be like,
no.
don't do that shit when we have company. I'll be like, can we watch it again so I can Shazam that song? Like, oh my God. Anything else?
That's it.
So if you have a topic that you want to explore, or you have any questions you want to ask, you can write to us at bedlovebeyond@gmail.com or text us or call us at 201-862-8-BED. I have to check the voicemail. Somebody was calling the other day and it came up on my computer.
Really?
And when I tried to answer it, like nothing happened. I don't know. I have to check that.
Call back.
Leave a message. Thank you for listening to us on Podbeam, iTunes, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Rate, review, and like, and subscribe to us on any of the devices. We have a lot of followers on Podbean. Thank you for everyone.
Sure do. I noticed that. And
thank you for everyone who's following us and continues to follow us on that and on WordPress. A lot of people liked the article or liked the podcast last week with our guest. She was really awesome. It's bedlovebeyond.com, and we're on Facebook at /bedlovebeyond, and on Twitter, and we don't use Periscope but YouTube. In April, you are at Miss April Speaks on Instagram and Twitter, and I keep forgetting your new website.
True Complex.
The Truth Complex.
A Truth Complex.
A Truth Complex.
On
Okay.
WordPress, and it's Truth Complex on Facebook.
I'm gonna have to like share those. I think I might have, but I'll share them again on the Facebook page, so you guys can find them and follow April.
And I did a little blog post for Bed Love Beyond WordPress blog.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So on Sunday I did. So I thought it shared to the Facebook page, but I guess not. I thought
I don't know. Maybe.
I tried to share it on the Facebook page. Maybe I did something wrong.
I don't know. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, but comment on it.
Yeah,
Tell me your
leave
thoughts.
some feedback.
Yeah.
Let us know what's going on there. And we're going to try to schedule Superfan Sam soon. She wants to come on and do the end with her boyfriend, who she's been cohabitating with for a while. So we're going to have to coordinate our bat watches to London time and figure that out. But thanks for riding with us. Till next week.
Peace.
Peace.